Hey guys, Dave with Moniology here. Hope everyone is doing well. This is the Precious Metal Sector Review Part 2, July 11, 2018. In this video, we'll take a look at about 30 names in the sector that are worth doing more due diligence on, and I believe have potential to have very nice gains should gold rally as we expect it to in the next couple of weeks and months. All these videos are from weekly perspectives. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly, so if you have any follow-up questions on any of these names, feel free to subscribe to my videos. Hopefully you can pledge on Patreon, and we'll go. I can do a private one-on-one due diligence on technical due diligence on these videos in multiple timeframes. So without further ado, let's take a look. Pure gold mining, LRTNF. This one's been consolidating for a better part of 3 years now, and it looks like it's on the verge of breaking out higher. This is not necessarily a buy until it breaks above the 60-cent zone, but if it does, this could be the sign of a very strong leg higher in the coming months. Look at accumulation starting to pick up here. Next on the list is, let's see why I can't get this to get a little bigger. There we go. Seabridge Gold. This one is also been consolidating here for about 2 years, and RSI is starting to pick up steam here. If it can break above the 60 RSI level, that'll coincide with this breakout above 12. 12 is that trigger point to go long this particular name, and with the target of 16 at the beginning. Freeport FCX, one of the larger names in the gold and copper space. You got PPO starting to move higher, just crossed zero here, very powerful. Accumulation is starting to pick up, and it broke back above the 50 RSI level. So I believe that this is starting to move higher. It's above the 50-week moving average, closed just above the middle Bollinger Band so far. And for a trigger, for a longer-term trigger, $20 is really the high point, but I think it's going to reach $20 one way or the other. If it breaks $20, that's your indication that this wants to move higher for its next leg up. Golden Arrow Resource Corp, GARWF. This one is one that broke out of this downtrend here, and it looks like it retested it from the upside. Wants to start moving here again. It looks like you've got the PPO starting to curl, got some accumulation taking place. Trigger point for a buy is a breakout above 40 cents on a weekly basis. That's a 200 EMA. Then there's that 42 cents 50 EMA. So you want to break above those 2 points. If it does, this is one that you definitely want to consider going long. It's probably got a lot of good resources, and so depending on what they're doing, we'll see what happens. Next on the list is GORO, Gold Resource Corp. This one has been kicking butt and taking names over the last couple of years, and it looks like it's starting a new uptrend here, despite the gold sector being down. Look at this accumulation here. It may pull back. It may pull back. There's a slight divergence here taking place on the weekly, so you want to look at this from daily and hourly perspectives, again, depending on your time frame. But if this pulls back towards $6, it's a great buying opportunity. If it breaks out above $8, it looks like it's going to make that next run higher. Sibanye Gold's SBGL. This has been an absolutely terrifying drop for those of us who've owned this company. But I wanted to point this particular name out because it's very much tied to platinum, palladium. It's got gold as well. There's positive divergence here on the weekly, where price has hit a new low, but momentum has not. And so if this can rally and break above $3, this can set the stage for a very strong rally. Just something to keep on your radar should it break above $3. Gold mining, GLDLF, is one that we've personally liked for a while. It's run by very good management team, and it's had a great run from 16 all the way to a high, from a low of 26 cents to a high of about 254. It's fallen considerably since then, but they've been accumulating assets. They've got no debt, and they've got $12 million in cash, looking for the next great opportunity. I'm not sure what happened here. Looks like a fat finger to the upside, but one to keep an eye out for. If it can break above this 85-cent marker here, that'll be a sign that things really are ready to rebound, and this can move really fast very quickly. Definitely like this name. Southern Silver Exploration, SSVFF, beautiful long-term cup and handle here, and it looks like it's starting to build momentum. If this can break above the 50 RSI level here, and it's certainly showing signs of positive divergence, this one is one that you'd like to go long. Look at the accumulation here despite the price drop. So someone's buying this. So if this can get above this trigger line of about, I'd say, about 25 cents on a weekly closing basis, that'll be your sign for a very high quality risk reward trade. Alio Gold, ALO, this one is been down in the dumps, but the PPO is starting to curl. There's a slight uptick in accumulation here, and so let's see what happens here. I think a rally towards 250 is definitely possible. If this can break above 250, then that's where you want to definitely go long, as that would be an indication of a new uptrend in Alio. Bear Creek Mining, BCEKF, another one that's been consolidating since 2016. Broke below this 40 RSI level that's been support multiple times before. Looks like it wants to break back above that. If it can do that, there's some resistance at 178 and 162 on the 50 and 200 weekly EMAs. But if it can break above that, it's a company that has great resources, and it can really break for a next leg run higher. So this is one you want to do your due diligence on, to be sure. Atlantic Gold, SPVEF. It's been one of the better performing stocks in the sector since 2016, from a low of basically 21 cents all the way to 157. It's been consolidating above the 50-week moving average. Kind of broke down a little bit on momentum, but it's recapturing that back above 50. Very positive. If this is one that has a very clear risk reward. If it can break above 160, that's your trigger point. Slightly below that is your stop loss. But look at the accumulation. Definitely like this from a technical perspective. Belosun Mining Corp, VNNHF. It's been hit over the last couple of months and years, but one that's starting to show some signs of life here. So if it can break above this 40 level of resistance of RSI, and probably coincides with a break above the middle Bollinger Band around 22 cents, this can really make a run. There's a lot of upside resistance still, but one that has a lot of interesting fundamental story behind it, and so this can really pick up. But again, due diligence and this, as well as all other names, must be done. Look at the PPO. Bravada Gold, BVA.V. This is one that's primarily traded on the Canadian exchange. Look at the volume over the last couple of months. Something is drastically changing here. Massive accumulation. It's got RSI positive divergence. RSI got rejected at the 50 level, but price is much lower, but momentum is the same when price was at 17, basically double where it's at today. So if this can break above 10 cents, this can make a strong run towards 20 cents very quickly, and considerable upside ahead should the markets change. Okay, next is GUG.V Resources, another one on the Canadian exchange. It's done beautifully from 0.005 of a penny all the way to 20 cents on the Canadian dollar. It's been consolidating here above the 200-week moving average of about 11 cents. It's starting to gain some steam here, and this can really run. It's got some tremendous resources behind the name, so one you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Teranga Gold Corp, TGCDF, another one that's rallied despite the market being down. So this is a fundamental story from 185 all the way to 432. It's pulled back some, so but it's finding support on the 200 moving average, 200 week, and right below that is a 50-week moving average. So this looks like an ad on any pullback. It's got a lot of accumulation going on, so this, you obviously want to understand why it's pulled back from this point. But if there's no fundamental change in the company, then this could be a very good area to add to this or initiate a position. Cache Exploration, CAY.V, another speculative name. It's kind of been down in the dumps from a massive rally from 30.5 cents all the way to 4 cents. So it's been killed, but it's been consolidating here around that 4.5 cent area. If it can break above 5, and it's finding some nice bounces here at the 4 cent range, if it can break above that, it can really stage a strong rally. Look at the momentum, it's starting to build up here, and it's showing positive divergence as well as positive accumulation. So keep an eye on this one. Next is Harmony Gold, HMY. One that is starting to pick up steam here. It broke above this 40 RSI level, so that's positive. It's kind of pulling back some, possibly retesting this support zone. But with PPO starting to move up, I think that this one can really move. So trigger $2, and if it breaks 2, it can run to 3 really quickly. Timberline Resources, TLRS, another one that's been killed for the last couple of years, but it's starting to really move on high volume, so something may have fundamentally changed with the company. Look at the accumulation here. If this can break above this 13 cent and zone and hold these gains, that's a positive risk-reward entry around this area. It could run towards 25 cents, possibly as high as 50 cents in short order. A lot of positive divergences taking place on the weekly, but it's important that we break above that 50 RSI level to maintain momentum. Detour Gold Corp, DRGDF. This one is starting to rally. PPO is above 0. It's being accumulated here. It's now above its middle Bollinger Band. Nice trigger point is above that $10 zone. So if we can break above that and break above this 50 RSI level, this can run towards 14. If it breaks above 14, that's when that major run will take place. Equinox Gold Corp, EQXGF. Another one of these pink sheet names that's been consolidating over the last couple of years. PPO is starting to curl. You got accumulation starting to pick up. And despite the pullback from 102 all the way to 77, it's finally starting to find its footing. It's finding support precisely at the last breakout point, right over here. And so that's where we're finding support on the RSI. I think that this is setting the stage for a very nice run in the coming months ahead. Iamgold, IAG, one of the better performing names in the sector. It's consolidating, and I think it's starting to build some positive divergence here, and it's got a lot of support underneath it with the 200 and the 50 moving averages beneath it. So this is one of the more quote-unquote conservative mining plays. Should the sector break out, this one is one that you'd like to consider. East Main Resources, EARNF. This has been basically correcting since middle of 2016, but it's showing signs of life here. It's got some positive divergence on RSI here, double bottom, and it's got this bullish pennant pattern. If this can break above this downtrend, that about around 20 cents, that could be your sign that this can that indeed a new uptrend is starting. Look at the accumulation. Someone's definitely picking up these cheap shares. Impala Platinum, IMPUY. Platinum has been absolutely obliterated, but I'm seeing signs here that this one is setting the stage for a major rally. It's got double bottom here with positive divergence, and if this can pick up steam with PPO about ready to cross 0, this can make a run towards 2. If this breaks above 2, that's when the significant run can start. I mean, this has the assets to run very, very strongly and very quickly. So definitely want to do your due diligence here. Eldorado, EGO, another one that's been killed, but it's finding its footing here around that $1 mark. So again, above $1, it's an interesting bottom picking play here. It's starting to get picked up on accumulation as well. Some cash flow in a positive trajectory. For us to go long on a weekly, we want to see this break above the 50-week moving average. But again, a bottom picking play can really rally from 105 to 150 and pick up some nice gains there as well. Kinross Gold, KGC, another one that's been consolidating here. PPO is starting to move in a positive direction. You got accumulation taking place, so if this can break above 4.5, this can set the stage for a very nice run towards 6, possibly higher. Entrée Gold, EGI, another one that's finding some footing below this 40-cent mark. It's now starting to break above the 50-week moving average. It's also consolidating right below the 200-week moving average, with RSI really breaking out above 50. This can really run. If this breaks above 50 cents, I think we're headed higher towards that 70 level at a minimum. McEwen Mining, MUX, another one that's got this beautiful corrective pattern, bullish pennant here. If this can break above this pennant, and it looks like it's starting to do so, RSI has broken above 50, this can really run. I still have a long-term price target on this one of above $5, but from a technical standpoint, this may be the point of breakout, so keep an eye on this one. First Majestic Silver AG. This, just like many other silver names, has been doing quite well this year, despite the gold names being hammered, and it's made quite a run from 5 towards close to 9, and we've been pointing this out for a while. So far this week, shooting star pattern, looks like we might pull back some here. No surprise, because this is precisely the point at which we broke down last time around, so now it served as resistance this time around. So use this pullback as an opportunity to add. If this falls to the 50 EMA and at 710, another great area above the middle of the Bollinger Band at 687. So I would be looking to add on weakness, but it's being accumulated here despite the pullback. Like this name very much. New Gold, NGD, another one that's been kind of whacked for the last 2-3 years, finding some footing around the $2 level. Positive divergence here, lower price, higher momentum. If this can, with some of this accumulation that's taking place and PPO breaking above 0, this can make a strong run towards 3, possibly higher down the road. First Mining, Goldcorp FFMGF, another one of these resource plays. It's been hit, but now it's got some positive divergence taking place here, double bottom. So this is one you definitely want to keep an eye on for. It could really be explosive should this break above 40 cents. Oceanic Gold, OCANF, one that's been really been consolidating very nicely despite the gold market doldrums. If this can break above $3 here, this can really set up for a nice rally. Look, it's above the 50 and the 200-week moving averages. PPO is above 0, accumulation, and it's above 50 on the RSI with positive divergence. This one's got one of the best technical pictures in this entire watch list. And looks like that's it for us for this particular video. Again, guys, if you appreciate the work that we're doing here and you want to learn more, feel free to reach out to us on StockTwits at Moniology. Shoot us a private message on Twitter or follow us on Patreon. Any contribution would be much appreciated, and look forward to being in touch with you and making some money together. Have yourselves a great week. Take care.